welcome to Geekonomics. We are back after a week's hiatus for the holiday. We are back. It's a busy week. Everything happened. Everything in the world came out. Star Wars Celebration happened. Mass news from Star Wars world. A whole bunch of other stuff. And basically every show that we've been wanting to see all came out over the weekend.
And I've watched maybe
Probably none of them.
2% of that.
Yes, I've watched everything.
How do you have the time? That's what I got to ask you.
What?
How do you have the time? It's too much.
Well, I mean, it came out, we had like a week to watch it all.
I don't know. I can't do it.
Everything came out the 27th of May. So you had like all last weekend, which was a holiday weekend.
The Boys just came out this weekend.
Yeah, it was only 3 episodes.
I haven't even started that.
Oh, man.
We just started Stranger Things this weekend, and I'm in love with it.
I blew through that quick.
How? The episodes are like an hour and 20 minutes each.
I made time.
Yeah. Well, we watched episode
nothing yesterday. I did nothing. I sat in the house all day. I did nothing.
Well, there you go.
I cornered it off myself. After Saturday, for celebration life for my mom, I told Claire, I'm like, Sunday, we're doing nothing. I need a day to just veg out and do nothing. So
I sat out. I did nothing yesterday as well. I sat outside and read, and pretty much I was outside all day from 6 a.m. until about 7 o'clock at night. I was out sitting outside.
I've been grilling all weekend. It's been great.
I gotta clean my grill still. I gotta clean the damn.
I had to check mine to make sure there's no animals living inside it. So I had already done that. So I was like, well, if it's clear, we're grilling. So it was clear, so we grilled.
There you go. So Mark, obviously I have not watched everything, and I'm sure a lot of people haven't either. What have you been watching?
I'm pretty sure you're like one of the few people who hasn't seen hardly anything. I'm pretty sure everyone else that has a show, has their own podcast, something, has made the time to get and watch all the stuff so they can talk about it on their show.
Well, we're going to be talking about Kenobi 1-3 today.
Yes.
And the Star Wars Celebration news.
So I blew through Shorzy. I finished that.
I'm 3 episodes in. I love it.
It's 30 minutes long.
But I don't want to, I have pumped the brakes in Letterkenny season 10. I just watched the prostate episode, which was awesome.
It was a very good episode.
Freaking phenomenal. Yes. I had Allison watch the part where the women tell them about the pap smear.
Yes.
And she thought that was really funny.
Yes.
And then it made me feel like I shouldn't complain about getting my prostate examined now that I'm 40. I'll be 43 this year, and it's getting time for those things to be checked.
It'll be coming.
So I will never complain about that compared to what they got to go through.
Yes.
But I don't want Letterkenny to end. So I'm watching 1 a week now, as opposed to 1 a day. Shorzy, I got through episode 3. They got the team together.
Yes.
The show is amazing. They nailed it. I can't wait to watch the rest of it. I will probably blow through Shorzy quickly. I'll probably watch the next 3 this week. The next
couple episodes are pretty much the hockey games.
Right.
They blow pretty quick. You don't really think about it. It's just get it over with.
Yeah, but I don't want these shows to end, and I much rather just watch one, let it simmer, enjoy the jokes, take a day. And then Stranger Things, we started 1, which episode 1 was phenomenal. Probably some of the best TV I've seen all year. And then
just wait.
Episode 2.
Just wait. You've not started watching The Boys yet.
Well, we will get to The Boys once we finish Stranger Things.
Oh, man, The Boys.
But I miss the characters on Stranger Things so much. It's been so long since we've seen them. Episode 3 was phenomenal as well. We're watching 1 a night. Unfortunately, I got to work tonight. I got to work tomorrow night, so we can't watch it again till Wednesday. But
That's a
that's
great season. Like the mid-season finale is like epic.
yeah.
That show.
I'm excited to get there. By the time I get there, it'll be
Next
starting
one will
back
come
up
out. Yeah,
in
July
July.
when the next 6 come out.
Yeah. And I heard the final couple episodes are over 2 hours long.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, you can
Each one's a
tell.
mini movie. It's like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, every episode feels like a movie. The production value is phenomenal. They have knocked it out of the park so far when it comes to just everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like top tier show, the top tier show. But anyway, that's been me, Mark. I know you've blown through most of all this.
Yes, I watched all the Shorzy, watched all the Stranger Things. I've seen all 3 episodes of The Boys already. Whoa, The Boys.
Don't ruin it. I kind of know what they're gonna. I already read the comics, so
It's not anything like the comic.
Well, I know what character is in there. So
yeah, but they're not doing it the same way. I'll tell you that much.
2 of the characters from the comics are in there.
Yeah, they're not doing it the same way.
Well,
but there is some stuff at the beginning of the season, which I will let you in on now, that you will have to warn Allison about. So.
Why, dead animals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one that's like gut wrenching.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Same thing with Stranger Things.
Well, I know. Stranger Things had some moments that.
Well, they talk about his part in Stranger Things, about the house and everything, and what happened outside the house.
Yeah.
When where she goes and meets Victor Creel.
Oh, I haven't gotten there.
Okay.
We just learned about him.
Okay.
And we found Eddie. Eddie was hiding.
Yes.
At the house. That's where
I'll let you know there's some stuff in Stranger Things later on in the season that you're gonna have to. You'll see it coming, but you have to just let her know to not look.
All right. Yeah.
This is the first thing I said first thing I thought about when I saw it. I was like, oh, I gotta warn Brian.
Well, thank you for that warning.
Just say there's a scene with a rabbit in Stranger Things that she's not going to watch, and there's a scene with an octopus in The Boys that she's not going to watch. Like I couldn't even watch it.
Yeah, it's weird that Stranger Things. I'm in episode 2. Episode 2, I think the Ellie story right now is very heartbreaking. It is the hardest part to watch because I love her character so much. But
the 11 story
with the Mean Girls,
yes,
she spoilers hits the girl with a roller skate.
Yes,
that's
how many times has anyone thought about doing that when they were younger?
I know, but the whole thing is heartbreaking.
Yeah,
and
well, actually, it's just like for me, it was like, yes, the 80s sucked. They weren't cool. Like
well,
they weren't all bubbly and wonderful like everyone thinks they were.
Yeah, but I think there's a bigger thing. The bigger thing is bullying, and sometimes
I know it just shows. I think it just shows, like kids nowadays, like, oh, my parents lived in the 80s where everything was like 80s movies. It's like, no, it was terrible. It sucked just as bad as it does now. Yeah,
there's bullying no matter what generation or
it doesn't matter. If you were a nerd and you were into Dungeons and Dragons or any of that stuff, people wouldn't like you.
Yeah, it's but just the topics, and you're just kind of like, wow, it's nothing has changed in a lot of ways.
No.
But I guess we should talk about the Star Wars Celebration, Mark.
Yes.
I watched when Ewan McGregor and what's his name? Why can't
Hayden Christensen.
They came out. Wow. I sent you that video. They went nuts.
Well, I mean, I think, and it's the thing they've talked about with the Obi-Wan show coming out. I think it's showing those people who were in those movies that there was a whole generation of people who were kids at the time when those movies came out, who love those movies and who are adults now.
Yeah.
And want to go back to that time frame, want to relive that experience. So as like Boba Fett and Mandalorian is for our generation, on that storytelling and like wanting to go back to that time frame. There's a whole generation that was younger than us that got the prequels that still want to be in that same world that Mandalorian and Boba Fett are in, but also want to like reconnect with their characters like Obi-Wan and Hayden Christensen's Darth Vader and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which is great because Hayden Christensen got like basically ostracized after the original ones when they originally came out. And it's cool to see him like
a lot of people
find out that he's accepted in the Star Wars universe, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool celebration. I watched a lot of it. A lot of it felt like they're just trying to sell you crap.
That's every
other than the interviews.
It's every convention.
I know, but usually that's on the floor. They were like,
well, this was actually on the floor. Like they're like literally on the floor of the
infomercials for like cell phone cases and all this crazy shit.
Well, because that actual stage was on the floor of the convention hall. They didn't have like a separate room like they usually do in other places. Like you literally were like in the middle of the convention was that set, and then they just did these panels like in the middle of everything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So,
but it was good. They had some big announcements. I did. Yes. I have a short list.
Star Wars Survivor.
The Star Wars Andor trailer was released in date reveal. It's going to be 12 episodes.
Yes,
it's going to take place 5 years prior to Rogue One. Yes. It comes out August 31st. Color me wrong. Just on paper, I had no inkling or care, but watching the trailer, it did look very good.
Well, my first thoughts on it is if it's anything like episode 3 or episode 2, 3, episode 2.
What's me like Rogue One?
Yeah, it was anything like episode 2 of Obi-Wan, of it being like very much like the spy, like espionage, like sneaking around, hiding through, and that kind of thing. Like that episode was of Obi-Wan, then I'd be all into it.
Well, I hope it's better than Obi-Wan. I'll put it that way. They are not going to be leaning on the stagecraft like the other shows have.
Yeah.
They're not using it at all. The showrunner said, which is that big CG screen, these Mandalorian, and Obi-Wan and stuff, which is interesting because the trailer did look very different. The footage we saw looked very different than what we were.
They do a lot more practical sets than
the
other ones do.
Which should be interesting. Star Wars Jedi Survivor was announced.
Yes.
The first trailer.
Equal to Fallen Order.
I am very excited.
Who's in the back to tank?
Huh?
Who's in the back to tank?
Darth Vader?
No, in Jedi Survivor.
I haven't watched the trailer yet.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Why haven't you watched the trailer yet?
I gotta watch it. I keep seeing it and I didn't watch it, but
there's a scene at the end of the trailer where there's someone in the back to tank and Cal's looking at the person and no one has said who this person is yet. And it's makes no, I can't think of anyone it could be.
It's not Darth Vader?
No. You have to watch the trailer.
Teaser. Well, there's a teaser right here. I can watch it.
That's all we've gotten so far.
Congratulations. You've been volunteered to investigate gaming anomalies present in
No. Commercial. End commercial. Skip. I hate these commercials.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1. Skip you. All right. I'm gonna watch this right now.
Okay.
I haven't.
It's only a minute and a half, so it's not fun.
The first game was unbelievable.
First game was probably one of the harder games I played in a long time.
It was very hard. Yeah, I had to put it on easy.
Yeah.
Because some of those fights were just brutal.
Like the end battle was ridiculous.
The bird battle.
Yeah.
Like that big bird.
Oh, that was another one. That was worse.
Yeah, there's someone in the hood. It could be one of the Inquisitors.
Well, wait, you'll see.
I see hair. Oh, it's not Darth Vader.
Yeah. It's like white hair.
Oh. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't say. I guess we'll have to find out when we play the game.
Yeah. That's my thing. It's like doesn't make sense of who it could be.
It's gonna be someone in that game. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if it's coming out in 2023, we'll get a full trailer. It's gonna be coming out in the beginning of 2023.
Yes.
So we'll find out soon enough. That's interesting. Yeah. Also, let's see, a bunch of animated stuff coming out. Ahsoka, Rebels, Ezra.
Yes. Well, Ahsoka's first look teases that characters from Star Wars Rebels will be in it. And Ahsoka was huge in Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah.
Like she ends up teaming with the crew of the Ghost, which is the main story of Rebels. And during their onstage thing, they actually brought out Chopper, who's the droid from Rebels, pretty much announcing he was going to be in it. Then there's also live action versions of Sabine and Hera Syndulla will be part of the series, who are two big characters from Rebels show. And then there's also, I guess, there was a mural of Ezra Bridger in the video, and he is the Jedi from Rebels that takes off at the end of the series. He blasts off with Admiral Thrawn, who was hinted at in Mandalorian.
Yes.
During the Ahsoka fight scene in the kind of Japanese battle they had there.
Yeah.
So Admiral Thrawn and Ezra blast off at the end of Rebels to like the far reaches of space, I guess. To take like they have like space whales. There's a whole thing. So the like it's basically like the thing was that the people are saying it could be the hunt for Ezra.
Huh.
Because Thrawn has reappeared. It's 5 years. It takes place the same time while I'm at Mandalorian. Possibly. Or it could be before Mandalorian. No one hasn't really been announced yet when the book of show takes place. So, yeah. So it's going to be crazy because Ezra Bridger is like a huge character in the bigger canon of Star Wars that people have been wondering, like, where's Ezra been during this whole thing? Where was he during the New Hope and all that stuff? And this takes place. It takes place the same time with Mandalorian. That's 5 years after Return of the Jedi time frame. So if Luke's out there, Ezra's out there, is there a chance of them rebuilding the Jedi Order again? Is Cal's still floating around? So
that is all that. My God, it's a lot.
Well, because there's even people wondering if Cal will show up in Obi-Wan.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, we have 3 episodes left. I don't think so at this point. I mean, originally I thought so, but I don't know.
To me, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
At least not this season.
Yeah.
They're hinting at doing a second season of Obi-Wan.
How? I think that's a rumor. I don't think this is supposed to be a limited event. So
I could see them being like, this is making money. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
So you still got like years and years before he shows up in New Hope.
The whole point is he's supposed to be watching Luke, but now he's literally not watching Luke. So then, if they do
he's
season 2,
taking care of another part right now.
I know, but you're just kind of like, I don't know.
So he could basically like that could be like the thing could be that he was basically kind of underground railroad for Jedi trying to escape the Empire, and he was helping them this whole time in secret.
Yeah, but that's already happening without him. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but he could join up with that because they like that the Jedi that they mentioned in this past episode, episode 3, is Darth Revan.
Yeah, they could
Reincarnated Darth Revan.
They could do a spinoff or
so
tell a different.
There's a lot of stuff that they could be. Like that could be who that is in the back of tank. Who knows?
Maybe. Well, speaking of shows, let's go back to the Star Wars Celebration. They did announce a new show, which for me personally, I kind of like the original stuff. We're not filling in gaps. It's something new, like The Mandalorian, where we don't have any baggage already to it. We can actually experience everything together. And that is the Skeleton Crew, which will be launching in 2023, starring Jude Law. It's going to be created by Spider-Man No Way Home's John Watts and Christopher Ford. And Skeleton Crew will follow a group of 10-year-old kids from a small planet who got lost in a galaxy far, far away and are trying to find their way home. The story will take place between Return of the Jedi and will fit within the timeline of Mandalorian and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting. Something new, something creative that's not.
Well, I think this is the show that's taking the place of the Cara Dune show.
Cara Dune's gone. Let's not even worry about it.
No, I know. I'm saying, but they had already like partitioned that money for her show. So I think they're like, oh, well, let's do this show instead.
That was years ago. I mean,
I know, but I'm just saying, instead of like to fill that spot of having another show in that universe,
right.
They needed something, and I think this is what they came up with.
Yeah, it should. I hope it's good. I can't wait to see something. Mandalorian season 3 is coming in 2023. The footage they showed was really good.
Oh my gosh!
I'm more excited about Mandalorian than anything.
Yeah. The looming conflict with Bo-Katan. Oh man.
Yeah, should be good. The Bad Batch season 2 trailer confirms a fall 2022 release window and a Wookiee Jedi.
Yes.
Did you see the trailer?
I have.
The Emperor's back. Commander Cody will factor into the season alongside a Wookiee Jedi.
Yes.
We're gonna get more Visions. Star Wars Visions returns to the spring 2023.
Which was great. Star Wars Visions was amazing.
I kind of fell off after a couple episodes. I didn't really.
I mean, they were like some of the other ones were like the ones that were more of the samurai stuff was cool. When they got into like the Astro Boy kind of stuff, I wasn't really into those ones. But
yeah,
majority of them were good.
Star Wars Tales of the Jedi is an animated series featuring Ahsoka, Count Dooku, and Qui-Gon Jinn. That I'm more interested in. They're going to be animated shorts heading to Disney Plus this fall, and we'll not only tell stories of Ahsoka and Count Dooku at different parts of their lives, but also Qui-Gon. So that's kind of cool. Just little short stories. I like stuff like that. Sort of like a what if, but they're animated. What else? Oh, Mark, did you pre-order the Lego Star Wars BD1?
Nah.
I like BD1.
I like BD1, but not enough to make them at Lego.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I just
Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation will be coming to Disney Plus August 5th. Basically, Rey, Rose, Finn, Poe, Chewbacca go on vacation after taking down the Emperor, and antics will ensue. It looks like a fun little
it's a kid's show.
Yeah, like the holiday Lego show.
Yeah.
Also, Star Wars is getting a High Republic kids show.
Yes.
On Disney Junior.
aimed at pre-kindergarten children. So I
non
will not be watching that.
yeah, non-Star Wars related things.
Well, Lucasfilm related, so that's how it correlates.
Yeah.
And Han Solo was in it, so.
Indiana Jones 5, first images
Yes.
revealed. I don't know. I'm probably not going to see this in the theater. I don't want to see Indiana Jones as this old guy.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if they do this, the way Jurassic Park is bringing back their old characters, where it's basically they just get roped into another person's story, kind of.
Yeah,
Indiana
but
Jones 5 is
Indiana Jones.
yeah, but there's not Indiana Jones has to come in to help someone else.
We don't know. We don't know anything.
I know, but I'm just spitballing. I'm saying like if that was how the story goes, where it's like there's a new main character that gets brought in.
I don't think that. I think that upset people because
Or they like do
Harrison
it in a way
Ford.
where they like. I know they were trying to do it with a Shia LaBeouf one, like he was going to get handed off the Indiana Jones franchise, basically.
Well, he was his son.
Yeah, and it just
And
didn't work out
It
because it was bad.
was a bad movie.
But I think if they were to retry that and do it with someone different,
I don't know. A part of me just feels like
so like a Ryan Reynolds.
nobody can take the place of Indiana Jones.
Ryan Gosling.
Nobody.
I mean, he already took his
And
place in Blade Runner. I mean, he could do the same thing.
he didn't take his place in Blade Runner.
I know, but I mean, theoretically, that was like the shtick of it was he was going to be the new Blade Runner franchise guy.
No, there is no Blade Runner. Harrison Ford was in the movie. He played his character.
I know, but I'm not saying as him, but I'm saying I think they were going to try to push that along.
It wasn't going to be a new. It was just a sequel to the original. That's all it was. They ended the story. There was no reason.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying but they did something like that in that vein, like brought someone in to kind of be like the
I don't know.
young
I mean,
guy that follows along. And
it sounds like you're probably more excited about this than me. I don't know.
it's Indiana Jones. You can't not like it or be excited for Indiana Jones.
Listen, the first 3 movies amazing. The Indiana Jones Chronicles was really fun.
Yeah.
After seeing the Crystal Skull in the theater, I was so excited. I walked out of that theater so bummed. I was like, that movie was like, what the fuck did I just see?
Yeah, it was just bad. But I mean, you can.
I know.
Like, there's been bad other franchise like misses.
I'm just.
They've been redeemed.
My biggest problem is just seeing him so old. It's gonna. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he's an old guy.
I know. So put it to bed. Why?
I think if they were to do it like in the vein of Last Crusade, where he like kind of plays the role of the Sean Connery type character, and there's a new person that comes in and plays the swashbuckling guy, and like I said, like he's dragged out of retirement kind of to solve a mystery.
I don't know. I hope
he's like, I don't really want to do this. I'm not into this anymore. But they drag him out to retirement to help because he's the only person that could solve this puzzle. I think that'd be a great way to do it.
I hope.
The least amount of like action sequences and leave it mostly to some other younger person to do all the running around.
We haven't seen a trailer. I don't even know when it's coming out.
For a while.
Yeah, so
it's coming out like
reserve judgment.
Spring next year, I think.
All right, I'll reserve judgment till I see the trailer. For me, I will wait till the jury's out on this one. I just don't know how I feel about seeing Indiana Jones geriatric. I don't know. Anyway,
I mean, they've already started filming it, so
I know
it's happening.
I know it's happening. I think they finished. I think they finished this not that long ago.
Yeah.
One thing I'm excited for, me on the opposite spectrum, Willow is getting a show.
Yes.
It's going to be
which we've known about already because but
we got footage.
Yeah, but I mean, when was it? Like last year they mentioned it.
They announced it last year.
Yeah.
The sequel take place 20 years after the 1988 original movie.
Yes, but I'd have to rewatch because I don't remember any of it.
Oh, I loved Willow, man.
I did
I'm
too. I just don't
probably-
remember half of it.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Watch
Yeah.
it right now.
Yeah.
Watch it right now. Watch it
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't watch right now. We're doing the show.
I'm definitely going to rewatch it too. I haven't seen it in a very long time. But Val Kilmer and
Yes.
Warwick are amazing together. It's such a great story. I'm
There's a
hoping.
chance they could bring him back. So
No, here's the thing. If Val Kilmer shows up,
from what I heard from my sister who went and saw Top Gun.
yeah, but that wasn't his voice. It was a
I know,
computer
but
AI
you
voice.
wouldn't notice. She said you barely noticed. She said, well, she doesn't know Val Kilmer's voice, so she didn't know any different that it wasn't him talking. And she's like, wow, I was telling her Saturday. I was like, yeah, he wasn't actually talking because he doesn't have a voice. Because he lost it because of cancer. She's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I was like, yeah, they took old clips from the original movie and like sound edited it. And he just he mouthed the words and then they just put his voice in there.
Mark, they didn't take old. No, this is a new AI, brand new. He's been using it. They can type in whatever.
Yeah.
And it will come out. They know what his voice sounds like. So it's like a brand new tech.
That's what I'm saying, but they use like old things of him talking to get the baseline.
Well, he's been using this for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
I remember when they did I think from the documentary, I think I saw it that they were talking about it.
So I mean, to me, I don't care if Val Kilmer shows up or not. To me, that's not going to make it or break it. As long as it's a
No,
good
but it'd be
story.
cool to see him show up there because that was like a pivotal movie for him. At
Yeah.
least mine.
But I think Warwick, I think he is, Warwick Davis will rock it. And the cast looks good. The trailer looks good.
The trailer looks better than the Game of Thrones one or even the Lord of the Rings show.
Right. I'm not. Yeah. I still gotta watch.
Out of the three of them, I'm into the Willow. So
yeah, me too. Let's see what else. The High Republic got a lot of showcase. I know that. Books and comics.
Well, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lord's release date announced for Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I mean
so that's like coming out. That comes out Wednesday.
Yeah, but Knights of the Old Republic is an old game. It's just being released on the Switch, but it's been.
Yeah.
I mean, the Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 are classic games, and you can play them both on Xbox, PlayStation. Switch is just getting the sequel.
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic is being remade and will be put out on PS5 sometime next year. I'm interested in the remake with new tech. Then, well,
new High Republic comic coming from Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the Indiana Jones 5 with Harrison Ford? Says happy birthday to John Williams.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
Yes.
That was pretty nice.
Yes.
And it's kind of cool that John Williams came back. He's coming back to do Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, and he did all the music for Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I think he did this. I'm not sure if he's doing all the music.
He did most of it though.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
He did the theme at least. I know that.
Yeah. So shall we jump into Obi-Wan? We're going to review and spoil episodes 1 through 3.
Yes.
The story this far is, Obi-Wan is taken out of, well, he's kind of retired. He's living on the planet. He's working a mundane job.
He's a defeated man.
Well, he lost. They lost. So.
Much like I think much like Luke in Force Awakens, he's cut himself away from the Force. He's still practicing the Jedi ways and things, like no violence, like that kind of stuff. But he's kind of like turned his like Force sensitivity off as a way to shield him from being found.
Yes.
I think that's like the whole shtick of the show is that he's not using the Force that way. Vader can't find, or the Empire can't find him, and he's able to hide out where he is, and do that whole thing because he's watching over Luke, like we know from New Hope. So the shtick of this whole thing is how you get Obi-Wan from the end of Revenge of the Sith, where he takes off with Luke and gives him to Ben and Beru, to him showing up in A New Hope. So there's like, I think it's 30 years between the two.
Well,
Time-wise?
Luke is like 18, 19, so
Yeah.
not even 20
It's
years.
like 20 years maybe between the two that you have to play with of what was happening with Obi-Wan during that time frame.
And technically, he's not even watching Luke anymore. So right now, Luke could be kidnapped. He could be, anything could happen to him.
Well, because I don't think the thing is Luke was put in a place that I don't think is as obvious to anyone but Anakin.
Yeah, but they're on the planet. I mean, they are on, the Inquisitors are on that planet. They already caught a Jedi on that planet.
You know what I mean? I think it's like they're in the grand idea of the story. The only person who knows who Darth Vader really is this Reva character.
Which is weird.
Which means there's some other thing going on there, which to me means, which is why I connect her back to the very first scene of this show, where they had the Padawans training in the temple.
She had to be one of those kids.
Happens, so she has to be one of those kids. And there has to be some scene that we're going to see somewhere where Anakin kills the younglings.
No, we don't. We've already seen that.
I know, but there's going to be some kind of scenario somewhere where that happens, in that, like, she's given the option of you can join the dark side or you could, die with the rest of the Jedi kind of thing.
That'd be weird. I feel like
I think there's no other reason why she would know who's what. You know what I mean?
I know there's some odd choices in this show, like the Grand Inquisitor is killed.
Well,
we don't know if he's dead or alive.
I think he's alive. I don't think he's dead.
He can't be, right? Because it's out of the continuity.
It's out of canon, and that doesn't work because he shows up in Rebels, the exact same character. And like I said, they could just do like they did with Fennec, and you just got like the mod squad fix.
Probably.
And he'll like come back, and that's how Reva will get defeated.
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be the MacGuffin to how they defeat Reva, is that, or the downfall of Reva's character will be that she gets found out that she tried to kill the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, Darth Vader.
And all be revealed, like what her scheme is.
Yeah, I mean, you
never see the body, like anything happen to the body. You just see him get stabbed and then he falls, and that was it.
I feel like she wants Obi-Wan so she can bring him to Darth Vader so she can confront Darth Vader. I don't know why.
I think there's some kind of weird thing going on there.
Because Obi-Wan, it makes no sense that you'd be so head bent on getting Obi-Wan. He didn't literally do anything. Like Anakin killed the younglings.
Yeah. Which is why I think it goes back to that. Sense. It's either that happens or there's something in the next episodes we're going to see. That's how I'm going with, like, my thought is she sees Anakin kill somebody.
I don't know.
And then she connects that he is Darth Vader at that point. Like, she realizes he's Darth Vader. And then she knows when he comes back as Darth Vader with the full getup that that's Anakin. Like, somebody calls him Darth Vader somewhere in her periphery when he's still not in the Darth Vader outfit.
But she's low class. She's not she's not higher up to be there.
No, what I'm saying, like when she was in the temple, during that time they're trying to escape, she overhears either a trooper or a communique or something, and Hayden Christensen's character as Darth Vader from the original prequels during that time frame is in the scene, and he responds back and he's called Darth Vader, and then she connects, oh my gosh, Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader.
Yeah,
that's how she knows Anakin is still alive.
I wouldn't be surprised if they pull one of those things where the second to last episode is all about her character.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Like
All about how she turned
right.
the dark side.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got
And she's
one more
not like,
episode
and then it's gonna
then
find
it's all
out that
about her.
she's neither with Anakin or with Obi-Wan. She's trying to take both of them out at the same, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's like her end game is to be Darth Vader's character, be the main bad guy.
I also feel like the main Inquisitor is dead because you have all the Inquisitors trying to pull rank. Like they're all trying to outrank each other and get the one up because they're now communicating with Darth Vader. So like the Grand Inquisitor is just like gone. It's just weird. I don't know. We'll see what happens if he does show up later on.
I think he's gonna show up again because I think there's gonna be something where he gets healed or something happens where they, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think he's dead because I've seen interviews of the executive producer of the show and he's like, I mean,
well, he's not going to tell us.
We're never going to destroy canon. And he emphasized we're never going to go off canon with this show. So in that case, Grand Inquisitor has to be alive.
He's just not a convince.
He's like, we can fudge some things, but we can't change major things. He's like, I could have Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fight again, but I can't have them like full on fight, you know, because that would destroy the line in New Hope of last we met, I was but the learner, now I'm the teacher.
Well,
you know, like you can't have them like have that big fight, that big sequence in New Hope if they had already fought 20 years ago.
They already had a mini fight in episode 3.
Yeah, but it wasn't even really a fight. It was basically Obi-Wan trying to run away.
That was probably episode 3 was my favorite.
Yeah.
I honestly like the more quieter moments on this show. Yeah. I like when he's talking to Leia and he's reminiscing.
Well, the whole fact that they're showing the reasoning behind why Leia looks for him in A New Hope.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Is amazing to me. It's like, that's awesome. Cause like totally like, not only are you like pushing along the story from end of episode 3, you're now like giving us reasons for why episode 4 happens. Like, why is Leia all of a sudden looking for Ben Kenobi? How does she know he's named Ben?
Yeah.
How does she know he's still alive? How does like...
Well, she doesn't call him Ben. She calls him Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, how does he like know that that he's around and all that?
Yeah. I do like that connection. I just, overall, I mean, I just hope whoever's writing I just don't get some of the parts of the show is so aggravating because you're kind of like, whoever's editing this, you're gonna be like, this is an odd scene. Like the first chase scene with Leia was just so bad. And then, okay, I loved episode 3. Loved it. Favorite.
Yeah.
But that final moment took me right out that Reva just shows up like a cartoon character at the very end of the tunnel. How did she get there? How did she run by Leia?
She went around the outside. Like the other girl got around to where Obi-Wan and Darth Vader are without running into Reva on the way back.
They're all other outshoots of that. But they're all here, and Leia's running down a tunnel here.
Yeah, but the girl goes back.
To go all the way, like.
But the girl that was with Leia, Talia, or whatever her name is, turns around and goes back. So she must have had another way to get out of the tunnels.
She just went back out the way.
Get away from Reva.
Dude,
or Reva would have seen her. So that's what I'm saying. So I think Reva went around and found the landing spot, which is outside again, and just saw like the tunnels coming that way. It just happened that Leia.
I don't know. It just took me out because I heard a voice. That you hear a voice, and I'm not used to her voice, so I'm like, oh, who's it gonna be? And I'm like, it's her.
Yeah.
How the hell?
Yeah.
I don't know. It took me out. Like, it's just a bizarre thing. I mean, it's sort of like that. It's weird. The action scenes are not done very well. Like Princess Leia running away from murderous mercenaries, and that branch is just like, oh, that branch, I can't move that branch.
Well, they didn't like say that it's so like he had to stop to like go around it.
Oh, they should have just cut that out. I don't even know why they left it in there. It looked so bad.
Yeah, it was
It's
just
like
a bad decision. It happens.
I don't understand it. It for me, it would elevate the show if they actually like got rid of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre. I mean, other than that, I'm enjoying it, but it's just, man, it's weird. It's weird. Also, like Darth Vader, it was a cool scene with the fire.
Yeah.
Blew the fire out with the Force, and then they reignite the fire. He could have put the fire out again with the Force. Like he literally just took it out.
I think that's just. I think it's more than just like he could have done that, but I think it was more of him like being like, I want to fight you.
Well, yeah, he's just toying.
I don't want
with
to just like
Obi-Wan.
I could just put the fire out, but
he's just toying with him.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great when he pulled him into the fire. It was great.
He just wants like he's trying to intimidate him.
Yeah,
and he wants Obi-Wan at Obi-Wan, not whatever he is right now, where he hasn't reconnected with the Force. You know, he's not like.
Yeah, but Darth Vader,
he
doesn't know anything. Like, this is the first time they've seen each other.
That's what I mean, but I think he sees like he's like not like he's like, no, I want you to fight me. I don't want you to be like backing away, and you know, I need revenge against you. In his head, that's what he wants.
Yeah, that scene when he's walking through the city, just torturing people, trying to get a reaction out of Obi-Wan to come out. That's
what he wants. He wants the reaction. He's at that stage where he wants Obi-Wan to break and lose control over himself and go after Anakin.
Yeah.
And
I don't
Obi-Wan's still at the point where he doesn't know if there's still anything left of Anakin in there, or what's going on too.
Well,
I think we're gonna get that scene too, where he's gonna have the helmet off, and they're gonna have that confrontation somewhere as well.
Maybe. I doubt he's gonna take that helmet off. Because he can't breathe without it.
Well, he could.
Like, the helmet stays on. The helmet goes on when he leaves the castle. So I don't think the helmet's coming off.
Well, I know, but I think there's going to be some kind of. I mean, to me, it'd be cool to have Hayden Christensen back, but just to be back and not have him have like that face to face without the helmet.
I don't think it's going to happen though.
Season of some sort or some kind of something.
I mean, it's him in the suit. So I think, and we did get him in a robe when Obi-Wan kind of had the vision of him far away. Like he was feeling him.
That's what I'm talking about, like something like that, like in that vein, where it's like a Force ghost kind of situation.
Well, he got that moment. I think we might get more of that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like the quieter moments of this show. The action stuff's just okay, but I like the more.
It's some great action stuff. They cut the stormtrooper in half with the laser fence. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a cool little scene. So
still no blood. Amazingly, stormtroopers don't bleed when you cut them in half. That was kind of amazing.
Well, the lasers just cauterize the wound.
I guess, yeah.
So okay, this is my one thought about this whole show, and this is it's more about the sequels than the show. When we start off, we have Obi-Wan, and he's living on this planet, and he's going through the emotions. He's working, he's doing this and that.
He's a thief.
Well, I'm watching it going, oh my God, they effed up the Rise of Skywalker. Because literally what he's doing is the beginning.
A lot of things in those.
It's the beginning of A Force Awakens with Rey. It's parallel. I don't know why they had to make Rey the granddaughter of Palpatine. It would have made more sense.
There's a MacGuffin.
This show could have been the connection that gave us where Rey came from, and it would have worked. I like the idea of Rey not knowing where she came from, and it should have stayed a mystery. But this show could have laid some foundation that, oh, Rey could have came from Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan could have had a daughter. He was living on this planet for 20 years.
She'd be like 50 years old by the time
Force
Awakens happens.
You know what? The Palpatine thing doesn't make sense either. So, I mean,
it does not make sense. I mean, he could have kids.
Basically, making Rey the granddaughter of Palpatine just makes the whole scenario that he literally just had kids, so they would fight each other. Like, it makes no fucking sense. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. That's my favorite part.
It was a MacGuffin to horn in bringing the Emperor back. Well, they could have just done it without having that.
Or just not bring him back because
they could have, because that was a whole thing in the extended universe. The whole there's a whole story, whole book based on that where they talk about the cloning and all that stuff.
I know,
but it's in Battlefront.
But
they talk about it too.
They
have the robots with his face on it and everything. So there was seeds planted, but they could have easily just done that and just had that been a thing and not had Rey be his granddaughter.
Yeah.
Like they were just trying to horn in the story of Ben Solo and her being like the connections, the things to bring back the characters kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I understand all that, but I'm just saying it felt very parallel to each other. And I'm like, missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Also,
it just also like negated like the importance of Finn and Poe Dameron's characters because they were like, they didn't really have any connection to anything. They were just there.
And
like Poe Dameron's character is pretty pivotal in the extended universe. Like in the Marvel comics, his parents are like the main story right now. So it's kind of like you had like a major-ish character that you basically didn't do anything with.
And bringing the Emperor back, they never hinted at it in the other two movies. So it would just felt all forced to me, bringing him back. It was just a forced situation. Anyway,
it's also the issue of having like two different people writing two different stories.
Ultimately, it comes down to Kathleen Kennedy not saying, you guys need to have a plan for all three movies.
Or have like one story before we start doing all this.
Yeah. Hey, we just bought LucasArts for all this money.
Yeah.
Just make three movies.
Just make three movies and we'll make money off of it and then at the end of it.
It'd be like Kevin Feige going, just make the next 10 Marvel movies. Don't even talk to me.
Well, it's also the thing of, I think it was also the thing of, hey, we need to finish off this George Lucas idea of what Star Wars should be. So we can then take the stories and make them our own and not have to be attached to that. Like we could just wrap up that story. The Skywalker story. We could wrap that up and still have Skywalker be in our storylines. But we can just be like, oh yeah, this happens in the future, and then not worry about it until we have to worry about it.
They just fucked up by not having
a
storyboard.
Yeah.
But like movie A, B, and C. These things need to happen. It was just sort of like you figure it out as you go along.
Yeah.
Anyway, I saw the parallel between those two characters and thought that was interesting. And like overall, though, I mean, it's a good show. I feel like it's gotten better as it's gone along.
It's gonna pick up the next 3 episodes, I think. These 3 episodes are kind of like the first episode was more of the intro to what's going on in the universe at this point. It takes place 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. Here's where everyone is, kind of thing. Like here's where each person that you are in the story is at this moment. It's gonna get through all that part, and then the second episode was the launching of the adventure, and now you're like into the actual story. Like the thing that, like the fact that they're using Leia at all is like amazing. Like I had no idea that was gonna happen. Like that was like the biggest curveball of anything so far. Like, you could see little Leia and like how that she was and how she like becomes Leia that we know.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's more of a love letter to Carrie Fisher's character than it is to anything.
Right. Oh, she drove me crazy in episode 2.
She's supposed to. She's like 10 years old.
Runs away from Obi-Wan.
Have you been a 10-year-old?
Then Obi-Wan's like, you need to trust me. He uses the Force to save her, and then all of a sudden, we get another person to help, and she's just like, you need to trust people. It's like, you literally 10 minutes ago did not trust Obi-Wan.
She's 10 years old. Welcome to children.
Oh my God, it was so annoying.
Hello, Cat.
I did like what's his name? I can't think of his name now. Had the cameo.
Kumail?
Kumail Nanjiani.
Yes.
He was I thought I liked his character, how he's
what is your opinion on it, Cat?
Cat. He's playing people or pretending to help
Which
people.
cat is this again?
This is Fidget.
Fidget, what are your thoughts on Obi-Wan?
He's smelling my mouth. He's like, your breath reeks.
Your breath smells. One smell it smells like tuna.
Probably. But he smells good though.
Baba, you smell like Dunkin' Donuts.
But anyway, it was I liked his character. I like his story arc.
I'm gonna lay here on this laptop. Don't mind me.
He wants attention at all the wrong times. 5 a.m, he wants attention.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
I was sitting in my watching The Boys yesterday, and Ellie literally sat on top of my head, right here, and would not move. And anytime I laughed or flinched, she was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Why do you sit there? If you don't want to be disturbed, don't sit there."
My favorite is when a cat lays on you.
Yes.
And you're just kind of like, well, I guess I just can't get up now.
Yes, I guess I'm here now.
And then you got to pee, and you're like,
I just pick her up and move her.
I always feel bad.
You have to move. I have to do things.
I'll hold it in. I'll let them lay on.
Yeah.
But anyway, I will say episode 1 is a 7. I think 2 was an 8, and I think 3 was an 8 for me.
Yeah, that's about right.
Teetering on 9. That for me, that
was
last
the best
moment
one so far. Yeah,
that last moment just ruined it for me, and it just seems so weird. But that's a me thing.
Yeah.
But I would say it's gotten better, and I mean, like I said, I'm enjoying it. Ewan McGregor, I think, just nailed it, and I don't think, honestly, there is no. They can't get away with recasting anyone, and
No.
Kathleen Kennedy already said they misstepped with Solo.
Yeah.
But I think Ewan McGregor gets a pass because it was a prequel.
Yeah.
And this was already done.
But I don't think they miscast anyone in Solo. I think it was just the story was bad.
Yeah, but
the guy that they picked to play Solo was perfectly fine, and all the people that they picked to play the characters were great. Woody Harrelson was awesome in it, and Emilia Clarke was good in it. It's just I think the story itself was just not done well.
But see, here I agree with you, but this is where
I think you could easily get away with making another Solo film or Solo show with those people
maybe
that are still around and be able to tell a story. If you were to use the Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni world of Star Wars and slide those characters from Solo, like they're doing with Andor, who was a Star Wars story. If you were to take Emilia Clarke, say, and bring her back and tell the story of Red Dawn or whatever, Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn.
Yeah. If you were to do a show called Crimson Dawn,
They could do that.
that would be amazing.
But don't have Han Solo.
You could have that guy who plays Solo come in, or even for the the Lando show. If that's intertwined, if he's a bit part in that show, where he drops in randomly.
It could be a test
Solo.
of
You could
water.
get away with that.
Yeah. I think it could test the water to see if
Yeah.
people are interested in that or not.
Yeah.
Because it's a hard sell.
Yeah.
It's a hard sell.
I don't think anyone was mad with his casting. They just weren't fond of the movie.
The movie didn't make much money that weekend. It came
It
out.
shows a lot. I think it's I don't know, I'd have to look into it, but I don't think it doing terrible on Disney Plus. I mean, I think it's being seen enough times. I mean, it's
Well, now it's free, so
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
I think
they corrected and now they're doing better. So
yeah, I think we could maybe like in Lando with
Yeah.
they said the Lando show is still happening, so
yeah.
we shall see.
Yeah.
So Mark, you said the same thing.
Yeah, like I would probably put like a 7.5 maybe on the first episode, and then 8s on the second and third one.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling that it's gonna get better. It's gonna get way better.
Yeah, we'll see what our predictions are. My prediction, we're gonna get one episode with Riva
Yeah.
about her backstory. I
Yes.
just feel like we are.
Yes.
Is she really just trying to get close to Darth Vader?
I think she's trying to kill Darth Vader.
Yeah, and obviously she's not going to succeed, but I
No,
think
she's
that's
gonna
what
get
she wants.
murdered.
Yeah, I think she wants to get close, and that's why she has such a hard-on for Obi-Wan. It's the only reason. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mark, before we wrap it up?
I don't think so. I think we've covered a lot of it. I mean, hopefully you'll get to see the boys soon.
Once I finish Stranger Things, The Boys
yeah.
is next.
Yeah.
Before we go, I want to remind everybody, we are 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We are 3 weeks away from East of the River Convention,
Yes.
June
Collectable
26th.
show.
Yes,
I'll be working the door.
June 26th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. 9 a.m. is early bird for $3. It's $1 to get in.
Correct.
American Legion in Enfield, Connecticut. I will have tons of stuff. A lot of new people will be selling their stuff there.
Yeah.
It's the June show. Usually this one's in July, but this one's early. We have another big one in Manchester next month.
Yes.
Andrew's show.
Yeah.
So
it's terrific. Right after that.
yeah, it's like I got 3 shows in a row.
That kind of year.
I love it. And the last show we just did was a success. We had a great time at that one.
Yeah.
Con.
Yeah, Matt and I never even had a chance to sit and talk at all during that show. It was nonstop.
Yeah,
He was drawing from the time we got there to the time we left. And he still had stuff to do that he had to get people's information so he can reach out to them and send them their finished works.
yeah, that was a great show. We had a
Yeah.
good-
And
Matt-
Terrificon Brenda will be coming out. So
Yay! Finally,
yeah.
that's cool. So I'm excited to get my hands on that.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. Well, like us, subscribe to us. We'll be back next week with Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 4
Yes. Yes.
and other stuff.
Yes.
And
The Boys episode 4 will be coming out. I'll be watching it. Brian will not.
I'll be watching Stranger Things still.
Brian will hopefully finish Shorzy and Stranger Things by the end of next week.
I will finish Shorzy this week.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You'll be able to get through Stranger Things too. It's only 3 more episodes. So
Well, we're gonna watch it Wednesday, and then we
Yeah.
have the weekend. So we probably could finish it. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mark, what's our sign off?
be
Eat,
safe.
Pray.
Be well. Be kind.
Rewind.
Bye, everybody.